So we continue to follow many of these retailers, and now it's time for the morning trade. We're taking a look here at Walmart. Walmart is up 13% this year and just 3% off of its all-time high. Before the company reports its earnings tomorrow morning, we're getting you ready. Schwab Network Sam Vadas is sitting here next to me on the desk and going over Walmart. What are folks watching for?
Yeah, well, as you say, the setup looks good, particularly given the performance we've seen year to date in double digits. Sitting up perky about a 1% higher in trade ahead of these earnings, which we'll be getting tomorrow just before the bell. As far as what people are wanting to hear from this company, obviously we want to hear about tariffs, we want to hear about pricing, we want to hear about back to school, particularly because of some of the seasonal trends there we've been hearing about, with consumers very much pulling forward some of their purchases because they are worried about what those price hikes might look like in the future. No doubt Walmart has been praised for the pricing strategy during this crucial period for the company. Investors do expect that Walmart will report strong traffic and same-store sales, as well as growth in e-commerce. Obviously, there is this reliance on groceries, which does help offset some of the economic uncertainties as well. So that will be very much looked at as far as a metric. Higher income earners have also been shopping there too. So we want to see if some of that trend is continuing. I was listening to a Jefferies equity analyst expecting another good quarter. But the big but now is for Walmart that management is likely to strike a cautious tone in the second half of the year. So even though Walmart has very much been seen as an outperformer, particularly when you look at its positioning with regards to some of the other retailers we've heard from, TJX, also with regards to Target, and when you look at Amazon as well, because of course consumers are value hungry, it is not immune to some of the headwinds and very much highlighting some of the challenges there. We have seen that it's been expanding its 10% staff discount to nearly all groceries for its 1.6 million US workers. So really that just goes to show, underscores some of the headwinds around some of the affordability challenges right now. The timing of that announcement, very interesting, just ahead of these earnings. Some have been saying that maybe it's a sign of goodwill, but obviously another headline we've been tracking and many have been paying attention to, which will be watched very closely in the earnings, is the fact that Amazon has expanded its grocery delivery. So big question as to whether Amazon is eating Walmart's lunch. But on the flip side, we know that Walmart too has been nipping at Amazon's heels as well. So we know that Walmart obviously has the coverage too, and many analysts really drive this home, obviously within 10 miles of 90% of the population. As far as what the analysts are saying, Mizuho says we are looking for updates across several areas, certainly as far as agentic shopping, given Walmart's all-in approach on AI agents, defenses with regards to escalating competition within the online grocery space. I just mentioned Amazon, and an update on the back-to-school season, early Q3 trends, tariff costs push to consumers. Obviously, given the high-profile sort of back and forth that we'd heard, obviously with Trump, Nicole, not long ago about, where companies like Walmart may actually have to eat it, as far as absorbing this in their supply chain.
I was thinking exactly that, because we were talking about the tariffs and pricing, and we've heard from Home Depot, for example, they said they may pass along some of the costs. We just heard from Estee Lauder talking about some layoffs. All of these retail type stores are sort of navigating a new field. In the meantime, Walmart has been a stellar performer, and many of the chief investment officers that we have on often have said, I like Walmart, I don't like Target. And Target has proven that today that it's still struggling, and maybe Walmart will prove that it's still a winner. It also pays a dividend, a small dividend, but it still pays a dividend too.
Yeah, I heard one investor putting it as Walmart is the giant in the room. Walmart is the Muhammad Ali to Joe Frazier. So no doubt they are just wiping the floor with the competition as far as this investor is concerned. But yeah, you're right. I mean, what's going to be very interesting, Nicole, is that when Walmart speaks, how much is the Fed going to be paying attention to some of those trends, particularly if they're going to be sounding a little bit more cautious, particularly heading into the second half of the year, as some of the analysts have mentioned. Just a quick update on some of the analysts as we head into this earnings report as far as price targets go. We've had Guggenheim, that analyst, raising the firm's price target to 118 from 112, a buy rating on the shares. Looking at the company report, Q2 results are going to come in strong as far as they're expecting, and the stock's valuation has room for multiple expansion. So obviously there's some optimism going into this. As you say, its positioning in the market is key. It is seen as leading the pack, and we've seen that, it's been a tough time for the likes of Target, and analysts have been drawing that comparison where, Target is really falling behind some of the competitors, namely Walmart.
Okay, and we're all set now. Thank you, Sam Vadas. I mean, this stock has gone really from $73 about a year ago, folks, and it's now at 102, not too far off of its high of 105. So over 1 year, it's up about 40%. Nice performance, right? You'll take it. Tim Bohen, a chief technical trainer at stockstotrade.com. How would you go about an example trade for Walmart?
Well, number one, I love Sam's breakdown. I love this stock, just for all of the fundamental reasons that she mentioned, especially the one key I did really like that she mentioned, kind of affluent shoppers kind of gravitating to Walmart. The lovely Mrs. Bowen, my wife, shops at Walmart all the time. She loves a good deal. And I just think it's really a great fundamental case. Now, I know I'm here to talk about the technicals. Wish you would have had me here about an hour ago, because funny enough, we were talking about what we call like that red to green type move. So Walmart had that big move yesterday, sold off into the close, but then pulled right back to that support level right about $99, then went green at 101 and then pushing the new highs. So loved it this morning, but it's still this afternoon, and I'll go over that. But the other point, your previous guest, and you mentioned the shakiness of the market. So from a fundamental standpoint, plus technical, I just love how bullish this stock is when that heat map is just absolutely bleeding out right now. So that being said, what we look for technicals for kind of confirmation into the end of the day, into earnings tomorrow, is as the stock continues to trend up, VWAP, which is our kind of favorite short-term bullish bearish indicator, is trending up with it. So what I would love to see for the rest of the day, especially into the end of the day, if Walmart can, basically stay above VWAP, love that for a buy, and then just basically risk that $99 level, which was a brick wall of resistance basically all spring, all summer, finally broke through it on a high volume day back on the 6th. But so the point is, look for this thing above VWAP into the end of the day, risk that $99 level. And then I think if earnings play out the way, especially based on Sam's breakdown, I think we could see all-time highs. And I just love this stock for a hold all the way through the Christmas shopping season, all the way into next year.
All right, that's worth noting too, because we were talking about back to school, back to college, and the holidays. So you like Walmart for the long term if it can hold here or has these good earnings. Now, what about the market? I mean, you're talking about some of the trends that you're seeing. You did mention a lot of red on the screen today that we had noted. Yes. Where is this buying opportunity? What do you do on a red day like this?
Well, what I typically do is, I know there's a lot of panic out there on these red days. I like to, buy stocks like Walmart. I mean, look, like what I like to do is look for stocks. I mean, at the end of the day, we're selling off. I mean, we're going to have red days here and there. I mean, look at the long-term trend of all of the indexes, all of the all ETFs. I mean, everything's been trending up. You got to have a red day here and there. So I just like to stay pat, wait for the turn. I'm still very bullish America. We've talked about that a lot last couple of months. And I'm still very bullish the economy. I look at all the money we're bringing in on tariffs and all the reforms that Trump is making. But I like to buy stocks like Walmart. Look for those strong stocks in a weak market and let the pullback, as much as I like Palantir, wait. If you don't have a position in Palantir now, still very bullish. Wait for that big green day that we know is coming. We had that short seller report on Palantir. Let it shake out. Let the weak hand sell, as they say, and look for red to green type moves like Walmart. But back to your original question, look for strong stocks like Walmart instead of trying to bottom fish. Let those shake out.
And a name like Palantir, you want to see it turn around and then buy it, I guess, on the upswing. I mean, it's 20% off of its highs. It's still up about 380%.
Yeah, at some point, a lot of people, Andrew Left published his short seller report yesterday. That always induces panic. When those short sellers reports hit, people are buying the stock at 20, 30, 40, 50. They see that, they start to panic and they sell, which creates that short-term pullback. Just look for that basing, and basically what we're looking for is a few days or weeks of some solidification. Don't try and guess bottoms. Then once it solidifies, look to buy and then just risk that breakdown level, because if Andrew Left is right and short sellers are right, then you simply stop out at that breakdown using the technical.
All right, Tim. Great to see you. Tim Bohen, thank you.